your own life at risk because, well, and ours, I suppose, because of, well, for the good of the people and for the good of the many. Certainly seems to be a selfless deed you have been looking for.
Defeating the Frost Giant Warlord in single combat would be a huge deal. You would certainly get an extra reward beyond that listed if you could actually defeat him in single combat.
In single, like us?
Yeah, you mean
or
Like
just
single
Geráck.
one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Geráck dealing with him himself. Although
Maybe you could become the new warlord.
Well, there's honorable combat and then there's suicide, but
yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I barely can even hit him.
It'd probably be counted as cheating to scream out what he should do from the sidelines.
try again.
Well, I can't
You would
really
basically
do
be
much
expanding
anyway,
it to a 2 versus 2.
Yeah.
Which is at that point we might as well go 4v4.
I mean, it's gonna be 4 giants and then that fucking gnome, right? If we're like 5v5ing it.
Well, no, we do 4v4, not 5v5.
That's true. Tempus
Yeah.
is not there.
We could
I think
win
we have a
for-
better chance. Like, I could not in single combat defeat anyone. I don't know, Geráck, if you can. Would it be
could
possible?
hit
You
him-
have your
I
rune,
could, I could
right?
probably hit him like 3 times. If I use my Hammer of Faith, I do half damage each time I miss also, so that's kind of good. But
Could we like how
also does a
many
lot.
how many item buffs could we stack on top of you? Like runes and oils and all that sort of.
Well,
jizz?
you could put a rune or oil on his weapon and armor. You could give him the benefits of a potion, and if you had any spells that you could like bestow upon him.
Would
I do
element-
have spells that I can bestow.
I assume elemental oil overrides a normal oil, correct? Or rune?
Yes, it would.
Runes
I just-
are not.
'Cause I have elemental oil
Potions.
fire, but
yeah, could you
Right.
use a rune and an oil?
Does a rune count for that limit?
Like a rune and a elemental oil.
I don't think the book specifically says. I'll allow it.
Right.
Right.
So
Because
I assume
thinking-
he's like vulnerable to fire damage. So like an elemental fire oil.
Do anyone
and-
know? Does anyone in this army know if, or in this city know if frost giants are weak to fire damage? or
Frost
fire?
giants are vulnerable to fire. However, an experienced giant such as him, especially if he does have, say, someone who can do magic next to him, might have a means to mitigate that. Hell, he could have a fucking potion of fire resistance himself.
Yeah, he could. Although
That's what I would do if I was a frost giant warlord about to fight people who might have prepared by having fire oils.
sure.
Then again, can you have your armor? What is that magical?
No.
And your weapon is not magical either.
My weapon is.
Okay,
It's
so
a adventure tier.
because I could grant you the blessings of the goddess. Some of those can be bestowed upon you with the full focus of the elven power infused into you. It would certainly. Well, I don't think it has happened often that such power has been given to one of your people, but
In typically, bonuses do stack. That's on page 161, unless they're from either the same source or close to the same source.
like 2 people casting the same spell doesn't work
Right, that would not work.
because that's close to the same source, or me casting the same spell twice somehow. All right, what you're saying, I could give him buff spells, basically.
You could. One clear exception, of course, would be magic item bonuses. Like, his adventurer tier weapon is a +1.
Yeah.
If you give him,
Yeah.
like, a
Yeah.
champion tier, like oil or, like, rune or whatever, that increases it to +2, it doesn't become a +3.
You have your epic tier rune still?
Yeah, I do.
That's
So I
the
can
only one
use
who put
that
it
on
right,
my
yeah.
armor, preferably, I think.
Sure.
And then maybe a champion tier rune on.
I couldn't actively help you, but I have a selection of different types
Who
of.
all used their epic tier runes last session?
I used mine. I think I, was.
did not.
the
I
only-
used a
I'm
champion
quite
tier.
sure I did not.
I have not.
I'm pretty sure I was the only one.
I thought Goger had, which was
I
my
am
confusion.
very sure I did not, but
Well, we'll go with that. I don't feel like pulling the video up to check that. I thought someone else had, though, besides one person, but we were pretty far into the session.
I
I used
that
a
undead
champion
fight.
tier rune, not an epic tier one.
yeah, same here.
Those,
I had
that,
both
that,
a champion tier one.
that could be my confusion.
That would make sense. I remember rolling my champion tier. So,
But I am fully restored. My faith strong as ever. I could, before you enter into battle, give you many a blessing that could grant you many a benefit in both offensive and defensive capability.
And if things don't look great, then honor's only a word after all.
Frown.
No. But
That would be a great shame if Geráck were to challenge someone to single combat and then.
That's not the reputation we're looking for.
It would be an even greater shame if he died.
Well, it would be a
Redemption
shame,
is
of
impossible
course.
if you're dead.
That's not true.
No, not quite. Dying for the right cause is not dying in vain.
if
Dying in
we
the line
choose
of
to do
duty.
this and I die, then you can charge the army afterwards. But do not enter that combat, if that's what we choose to do.
You think that is wise?
It's the
I
right thing.
believe if we give our resources to you, such as oils, runes, whatever temporary means we can, and you accept the blessings I can lay upon you, that we might have a chance in this single combat scenario. Such a thing in front of the entire army may even turn them, well, either turn them away or allow you to gain temporary command of them. Such a command could order them to move away, and if you wish to still destroy them, rather than put them to use for you, you could simply set them to go into a strategically terrible situation for themselves. Say a valley with muddy sides and wizards on either side of it. Such would perhaps be treacherous, but it is a possibility. Declaring or finding out what to do once we win, however, should perhaps be saved for when we win.
I think just charging them after we kill the Frost Twist would have diminished their morale enough for them just to fight horribly.
Perhaps. But pressed against the wall, they would still fight. It is, of course, up to you, and will be up to you. You will be the main commander, I imagine.
Well, Jasmine is the one with actual combat experience here, but
I've had some military experience, though certainly not with armies of mages. I was a scout.
still, you have more experience than any one of us.
I suppose that is true enough.
But indeed, I do think this could work if we have enough resources to spend.
Are you sure about this? Doing this alone is a great risk.
Frostfist is more my burden than anyone else's, and I do believe in doing this, yes.
If you're sure, then I will stand by you.
You wanted to make sure that your family honor was upheld?
I do.
Family honor? Well, time to put it to the test, I suppose.
Indeed so. I do believe I stand a chance if we can actually pull this off. Let's just hope he accepts the due.
And that he allows me to prepare you first.
Indeed so.
Likely a duel will be called out, and then in an hour or so after such a thing would be done, perhaps in the view of the city and both armies, in the center of a field, too far away from anyone to intervene easily.
Yes. That would be the way to do it.
What would you ask for if you were to be the victor?
That his armies disband and leave the north, basically. I haven't really thought about it.
Well, perhaps we can simply say that we talk about it now, and then we can go to the situation, and if it becomes relevant, we can retroactively talk.
We can have talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that might save the most time.
Yeah, probably.
who knows if we even win, or even if he asks, like, so what is it? He might be like, ha! Idiots, I'm not going to agree to that. I'll kick your ass.
In a field too far for most people to interfere, do you know how many move actions I have?
We should also like send word to the city that if in case battle commences, that the horsemen should charge out of the city.
They probably know. Like, I imagine they don't want to lose. Like, because if we lose, they're not going to get any more help.
Yeah, but just telling them to do that, so that they don't just sit behind the walls and do nothing.
Lord Inator Lanxum can try and send a message when you get closer to the city.
Yeah. Alright. So,
Once we set out towards it, then.
yeah. And I have an Epic Day rune. Could I use one of you guys' Epic Day runes as well?
Yes, you can have Aurelius.
Right.
I will also grant you my fire oil.
Right, you have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it resist energy fire?
No, I do. I have a fire oil. I also have a potion of resist energy cold.
Okay.
You can only be
cold
affected
damage.
by one energy resistance thing at a time.
Yes.
Obviously, the elemental oil would not apply to you. It'll apply to your weapon.
Unless you drink it.
Unless you drink it,
so-
yes. But if you take a resist energy potion, if you drink a healing potion, the resistance is gone.
Yeah.
But
But then I could use that as well, if it does cold damage.
oh, yeah, do they do cold damage? Is that something we know?
Well, they did when they fought us. Kind of.
They had axes that did cold damage. They would, like, punch you in the face, and then if they hit well, they would also attack again with cold.
Yeah, I've had a resist energy cold potion going back for many, many sessions now.
Alright.
How many sessions?
I bought it when we got that. Remember when you? I don't remember what session number it was. When you gave. Remember when we gained that like free credit, I believe, from Newport. A little bit before
That's happened more than once.
that.
It wasn't that long ago.
Like there was credit from just a
Yes.
short amount of time ago.
So I bought it one of our times in Newport. Like I don't know what energy type we're gonna be going up against. Oh, it was a session right before we went to right before we went underground. Actually, I believe it was.
Okay.
Oh, right.
And
all
so
of
so that's when you picked a fire thing, then, huh? Because you have to you needed to have determined
Yes,
your energy resistance.
it was already cold. It's been written on my sheet the whole
Cold,
time
okay.
and on my token.
Okay.
I just haven't. It's like it turned out. Oh wait, now we're fighting acid and like fire. Oh, that's not what I knew.
Okay. It's a champion tier potion, I take.
Yep, a champion tier cold resistance potion.
All right, that would be of use.
My only one, but you know.
Adventurer tier would not be. He's a bit beyond adventure.
I did
tier.
not think so.
Yeah.
I was tempted to buy one. It's like, wait, this is not going to work. You're not fighting anything that low.
Alright then. So I guess we're settled. It's gonna be fun.
Lord Inator obviously disapproves of this idea, but it's your life.
Yeah.
Thought he would have that opinion.
I feel like I've been in this situation before.
Okay. Your group takes the perhaps 2 weeks or so. It is certainly time-consuming to march this many units. So who are you taking with you?
Everyone but the engineers, I think. And of
Yeah.
course the ships.
Do you wanna send the engineers or ships to do something?
I imagine the ships will be going to hunt those corsairs out of Proudfort. The engineers, we could take them with us simply because, I mean,
Maybe
they don't
we
have
could-
to actually go into battle just because they're there. They could be like, if some line breaks or something, they could go.
Maybe
and
they
fight
could
there?
also
Watch the rear.
support the warships
How?
by being on board and doing engineering things. I don't know.
Like repairing the ships,
Yeah, for example.
I
So-
suppose
so-
that's a good idea.
so they don't have to go back to dry dock and try to get repairs there.
And you know, it would probably improve the chances of the corsairs not having any problems.
Can't the crew do repair the ship? Aren't they like?
Well, yes, but the
professionals at
point
that as
is, these are professionally trained engineers.
well? Yeah, sure.
I mean, it
Could
would
also
just be a
help
shame to
the,
bring the engineers and then have them stomped out by the Frostfist, because
Yeah.
they're not
They-
supposed to be fighting, they're supposed to be repairing things.
Yeah, and they could also like help man the ballistae and whatever is on the ship.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
presumably engineers have
That,
siege
that makes
weapons.
sense. Yeah, I think they'll do well there.
Alright.
We need to prepare Proud for it anyway. So.
Lord Morgan Mulrian will take off then with the Imperial Engineers in tow, leaving you along with 2 groups of mages, the Battle Clerics, and the Imperial Garrison to make the long march to Kavanaugh.
I imagine we're gonna just to make sure that we know what we're doing here, or that even if we lose or something unexpected happens, perhaps give them some basic instructions. I imagine our battle formation will be garrison in the middle to try to take the brunt of the attack. They're armored, they know how to do melee stuff. Probably clerics behind them to whenever someone gets
I got an
wounded.
idea. You should be able to move those army tokens that are on the Kavanaugh map. Why don't you try positioning them?
Alright.
On the other map, actually, making sure my token was updated with the new choices of things. Yeah, and then I imagine something like that. Yeah, so that whenever there's like trolls or something, the mages would move up basically to deal with specialty targets. Otherwise, try to be on long range support, while the garrison, whenever someone gets wounded, could fall back, and then hopefully the clerics would be able to heal them so they could get back in the battle as much as possible.
Now, the groups are large and disorganized. It's possible that gnolls riding wargs could come crashing in along either flank, basically like running around the castle walls.
Yeah, but we don't have like that
Screening
many.
cavalry and stuff like that.
We don't have to sort of
Nope.
do it as a wedge formation, basically.
Okay.
We don't have units used as a vanguard, so
With
it's
the clerics there in the middle, the battle clerics.
I mean, I know they're good at buffing and healing and stuff, so.
Clerics in this game are melee oriented. They're good at kicking the shit out of people.
The cleric could probably run to whatever flank looks the most pressed at the moment.
Well, yeah, say, for example, that a huge group of people come from this one, then they can sort of do a little bit of a sort of switch quickly. And
they can be a flexible vanguard for us.
yeah, I suppose. But try to focus, at least at first, on keeping the garrison as our fighting sort of. They're our anvil, right? While the mages on the sides are supposed to move up and strike whenever possible, and then fall back to like regroup and recover. And
Marcus appears to seem, he seems dedicated, and he honors this opportunity to be the anvil. He's probably gonna break. Again, mages, you don't get fireball until a bit further on down the line.
Oh, one can dream.
that's champion tier armies. We don't have those.
No, these your armies here hit level 3 at best.
Alright.
Yeah. Bet you that gnome is not an evocationist.
Yeah. Maybe with time they will become veterans.
Yeah, I don't know. If they do, they'll probably leave our service.
And hell,
exchange for
Burning
someone
Hands
else.
Burning Hands is a sorcerer spell and not a wizard spell. Technically, level 3 wizards don't have anything that deals fire damage.
They have acid.
They have acid arrow, yes. The trolls are fucked. The Ray of Frost probably is not working against the Frost Giants.
No.
Okay. The group, as noted, does make its yonder march. Basically, by the end of Wheelsun, it is the last day of Wheelsun, is when you make your way through the forest, looking up at the scale, like the steeply scaled hills, and up there the terrain, and wrap all the way around east, following the road. A few Imperial scouts catch up with you along the way, and their reports do confirm what intelligence and Newport suggested. The Frostfist has most certainly ordered people to screen for the army and pay attention to make sure that no one fucking goes up behind them. The gnolls really aren't into it. Don't really care. A few gnolls have been killed, but mostly they've been left alone so that the Frostfist doesn't get suspicious. And so they just end up finding nothing.
Alright.
So the question here being, if we're dedicated to the basically challenge the Frostfist to single combat battle thing, we're giving up surprise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they will, as soon as they be like, Frost first, he'll spend like an hour fucking reorganizing and setting up perfect battle formation to crush our things.
That would be a reasonable bit. There's no telling exactly how like capable he is, but yes, by challenging him to single combat to spare the armies, you would give up the fact that you're there.
Yeah.
Or rather than just charging into his back unopposed and unheard of, so to speak. But then again, the thought here is that the mooks of this combat are weaker than our average troop.
That's not
While
inherently
the big
true.
guys would be the problem, like the ogres and trolls.
I would assume that they are stronger individually, but far less organized, which
Yes, that's
hopefully
true.
gives us the edge.
The gnolls and the ogres and the trolls are definitely better, at least in regards to higher level than any of the troops that you have. But they're not terrible at this whole like organized battle thing.
See, gaining the Frostfist's army, even without him, would be quite a boon, because that is a challenge to all of our current ones.
Sure.
Pointing that out.
Yes, well, they would not really accept your command.
No.
No.
Warlord Geráck.
They definitely would not accept his command. I mean, yeah, some of them, in order to basically, like, don't kill me, would say, yeah, sure, I'll follow you. And then most of them would pretty much find the easiest opportunity to leave.
We had a bug.
Yeah, and my reputation is already a bit shaky. I don't need, like, an army of bandits following me.
Yes, like, these individuals were pulled from all around the region. Like, these orcs and... Not really orcs, not orcs here, but half-orcs and bugbears and trolls and ogres, and even a few hill giants were all pulled from within this area, and they've all flocked to the banner of the Frostfist.
Yeah.
So
He recruited at home, and he's feeding them at home.
So what is the benefit of actually fighting him in single combat? What do we win from it? We kill him potentially.
We make sure our armies do not take any damage.
Right. No, we don't, because his army is not going to be like, all right, he lost, let's just all kill ourselves.
No, but we'll have to, like, tell them to disband and leave these lands, basically.
And they will just do that. They might disband and split up, but that will still fill the area with bandits.
Yeah.
I think the main advantage of challenging him is reputation.
Mm-hmm.
We show ourselves going out there, challenging the big bad warlord to save everyone from bloodshed. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. We'll probably get a bonus, though, if we kill him to, like, deal with the rest of the army if we choose to do that as well. Because they will be even more disorganized.
I mean, some of them might just choose, like, wait, he fell? Fuck this.
Yeah, fuck this, I'm fucking running.
And then basically we would then order our men to charge when he falls, and then...
And then there'll be cavalry right behind them as soon as he falls.
Uh-huh.
And they will be panicked, and yeah.
Sure. Next question is, how many buffs do you want?
All of them.
Then I won't have anything pretty much for the rest of the next 3 battles.
Right, what can I actually get? Like, plus to hit is something I need, and
well,
AC
I can do Bless, which is plus to hit. I can do Shield of Faith, which is plus to AC and physical defense. There is Divine Endurance, which has extra hit points, and then there's Strength of the Gods, which is extra damage dice.
I would go for the 2-hit mostly.
Yeah, I'd say
hit,
to hit
maybe the AC and maybe the extra hit points.
And you can even cast them for power this time.
Yes, I can. Not as good value, but, you know.
Yeah, so then I will have, let's see here. I will have a +5 to AC then, I think, in total. If that gives +2.
It does when I cast it for power, yeah.
Yeah, so then I will have 31 AC, which is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
But
the Bless
+2
would
hit
give
is the
+2 to
thing
hit.
I really need.
The Bless would give +2 to hit.
Yeah. So
And
then
let's see,
I
what
will
level do I have it of? I think also it might give you, yes, it will also give you, it'll also give you 4d10 temporary hit points.
pretty damn good.
They would not stack with the ones from Divine Endurance, so I would not want to waste 2 spells there.
Yeah.
I think just Bless and the Shield of Faith, and yeah.
He can do his damage himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The extra damage I don't think I will need.
We'll need that against the Grindelworm anyway.
Yeah. Then he almost had to crit me to hit me, so... I assume, at least. I don't know what his to-hit modifier is.
A lot.
His you don't know, but I mean we can take them guesses. It's slightly better than his nephews.
Yeah.
His big thing, I think, is his AC over his offense.
What's your bonus to hit then?
It will be plus 18.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And it will be plus 22 with Smite Evil.
All right. Yeah, I think
So then
that's probably a
almost need
50-50 to hit him.
To hit him like.
Yeah. Yeah, 25%. It's pretty good.
Which is good because you're not getting an escalation die.
Yeah.
Why not? So, and you're gonna use your Hammer of Faith, I assume.
Yeah, I will use a Hammer of Faith as well as the Warhammer of Thunderbolts thing. It doesn't do that much, but might be a little difference.
Mm-hmm. And you can heal yourself.
Yeah, I can heal myself twice, and I have 2 Champion healing potions, and also
And
have
you're a
the
dwarf.
Yeah. So I'm thinking good. Perhaps.
All right. It's a pretty serious expense of resources.
Sure is.
But so that's why I'm thinking how much we're gonna gain from it. How much is it like? If you fight him and then they're like, "Well, brother number 2, now you're the leader," that would not really be optimal.
No, it's just
Then
that
again,
the army will be
who
very
knows? I
disorganized.
think it's cool and it makes sense. So I think we should do it anyway.
Indeed it is.
Flavor and awesome over exact strategics.
The rule of cool.
Real cool.
If it's really cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Will be pretty awesome.
Geráck might feel better about himself as well.
You certainly will. And I think others will as well.
Jasmine's kind of seen, this honor thing, you agree with the whole, whole idea of honor, you prove that.
It is worth noting that the power I'm given is not something I myself have. It is not my power I would be lending to your aid. It is that of the goddess of the elves. I have simply been blessed with the skill to lend it to those I deem would use it for good. And to preserve the elven shards and the unity of all.
And I would be honored to receive it.
I believe that is true. All right then. I suppose we should do this.
Yes.
It's on 18 PC.
There's the size of scale for you folks. I mean, actually, in order to get the proper size of
probably
scale,
smaller.
hold on. There you go.
Yeah,
But-
See,
that's about right.
we're not big people.
But then it's a pain in the ass to control
We're
things.
relatively big people, like everything considered.
Yes. Your final approach up the road is not met with any resistance. It's a lovely day. The sun has not been long up in the sky. Surveying the scene, you can see the extensive damage that some crude trebuchets have done to the city walls. Goblin teams are even now, as they tinker with the weaponry and recalibrating and repairing it, perhaps for another day's assault, which has not yet begun. Scattered around the plain, in front of the gate, but nowhere near the gate, are various camps and numerous fires, with the smoke still rising, of all the various bandit forces that have gathered here to lay siege to, and perhaps raid, or at least sack, the city. The most dominant feature, however, is a giant pavilion in the center. ensconced within almost like a flurry of ice. Presumably, that would be where the frost giants would be, as none of them are currently in sight. The armies some of them do look as if they're just rising to begin their day of, like, staring at the walls, while the goblins get to work, and, maybe the frost giants throw some shit at the walls. The castle walls look really bad. Off in the distance, you can see faint figures standing on some of them and at a few of the towers, but most of the ramparts have been destroyed.
Yeah. Have we sent word
We want
to
to,
the
like,
city yet?
blow some horns or something? I don't know how we can contact... Well, I suppose message could do it at this range.
Yes.
Like ghost sound from the mages or something.
Not
To
ghost
amp.
sound. In this game, ghost sound is just like a moaning sound.
Oh. Well, something to amplify voice. I'm sure the mages can do something like that.
Like, as Lord Editor suggests, or even Lord Langsam, one of them can try to message the wizard that's within the city to inform him of what's transpiring.
Yeah. So basically,
Geráck Zold will be attempting to beat the Frostfist in single combat to free the city.
yes. And if battle should commence, then you should immediately charge out of the city.
The message does have size limitations, but we can say, something to that effect. I won't make you write it down.
Alright.